there's not a better player more suited to play with Luka or LeBron than Dalton Connect. Is Joel Embiid on the floor on every possession. Guy falls down more than anyone I've ever seen.
They're fucked. Get up. He had that contract, and he can't. No one's gonna take that.
I don't like Wemby because he's soft. He's so soft. Obviously, he's skinny, but he's soft and he's a baby. This year, they come out with the envelopes again, and they're like, "Oh, the security officer is the only one that saw the results or whatever." But it's bullshit, because even when they did the top four, which is Chicago, Memphis, Utah, Wizards, it was in that order that they announced them, in the order that they were on the screen. Von Castle's like maybe the third or fourth, most frequent flopper in the NBA. Welcome back to the Can't Teach Taste podcast with your boys Matt Ghanem and Todd Tomlinson. What's cracking, man?
It's good, man. From Florida with love out here.
That's it. Out here in Tampa in these humid streets, about 90 degrees with 90% humidity. You walk across the street and you start sweating. It's light work.
I don't know how people do it. People talk about the taxes in California, and yeah, those are fucked up, but I couldn't. The taxes out here, I just couldn't. Here, Arizona, I could live in Arizona. I could deal with the heat, but the humidity here is, not for me, bro.
Humidity, bro. And then, right where we're at is where, when a hurricane comes, everything just gets smashed. We're, kind of on this little waterway. And last night we were cruising around trying to go to dinner, and you just see, all these houses under construction and stuff. And it's just, I don't know.
I mean, look,
but California, it's so humid, man. I literally walked across the street to Starbucks this morning, 8 a.m. And it's just, start sweating.
It's brutal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I do love Florida. I just would not want to see them, man. Come out here in October. It's perfect. Miami in October is perfect, but, happy to be here, though, brother. A lot going on since we talked last. Our Drake take got a lot of traction.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw, but we've never had a post get that much interaction, and it's still, getting blown up, which, Gash always says, when I wake up and I open the comments, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to look at it today, man. I got roasted a little bit in there, but it's all good.
It's all good.
Kind of expect that, Uh-huh. I think one dude said that I was 50 years old and I needed to relax. I was dying when I read that shit, man. Yeah. I was like, damn. Dude,
I find when people hate and do that kind of stuff, I find it funny. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what the comments are for, man.
But listen, I think most of the people saw the clip. Go back and listen to the whole pod. If you haven't, and get more of a perspective. Obviously, that was just the clip, but there's a lot more in there. But man, that's funny, dope. Man. We got a couple more days until Iceman drops. So looking forward to that.
Can't wait for Thursday at midnight. That's the worst part about the East Coast, is that it's not at 9. You got to wait till midnight.
Yeah, we were talking too, because the NFL schedule is coming out, and living on the West Coast in LA, I'm so used to growing up in my whole life having the first game of the NFL week start at 10 a.m. and the second game's at 1:15. That's how I like to watch football, right? The Sunday night game comes on at 5:30, and then you're done at 8:30 and get to go to bed at 9. But out here on the East Coast, man, everything's later. So in LA, the albums drop at 9. You can listen to them and still get to bed at a decent time. But out here, waiting till midnight, it's going to be tough. Yeah. I prefer the West Coast time zone much better when it comes to that.
I think last night I was up till 1 a.m. watching the end of that Lakers-Thunder game because it was close. You know what I mean?
And I'm a Lakers fan. I crashed, bro. I fell asleep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Dude up. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Look at that shot. Austin Reaves can't guard anyone, and he's just not responding. I thought he was in his zone, but he passed out.
Dude, because the hotel we're in doesn't have Amazon, right? So we watched it from our phone, and I was in my room. I
watched my laptop. You watching your computer?
I was watching in bed, and it was the second quarter. Bro, I woke up with the phone still in my hand at 3 a.m., game over. I checked the score. I'm like, my boys lost by 5. It's over.
It was close.
I missed a good one,
close,
man.
I'm
pissed, man. That's why I don't like coming out here.
There was a second where I thought, shit, maybe the Lakers are going to win, which means they're going to get beat by 100 in Game 5. But I thought they were going to win that one, man. I mean, I guess we could hop into it. The best part about that whole game was the fact that Dillon Brooks was sitting under the bucket. Did you see
funny.
that? He's sitting under the bucket with his diamonds on, just like staring at LeBron, like giggling. You know what I mean? He's the villain, man. Shout out to Phoenix's hometown villain, Dillon Brooks, the villain. Just like there, obviously he didn't say anything, but Bron looks at him and probably laughs. You know, Bron hits his free throws, it goes on. And I guess, I mean, it theoretically could be LeBron's last game. I don't think it is, but, you know, he wanted to be there for that, so that was dope. He's just through and through Dillon Brooks, you know. Second, well, the worst part of the game, I don't know, did you see the final play?
The Austin Reaves 3?
Yeah, you probably didn't see this, but they subbed Rui out. They put Maxi Kleber in, who, by the way, Rui was the best player on your team yesterday, the best shooter in all of the playoffs this year, right?
He was great in the playoffs.
55% from three or whatever, and they take him out of the game when they need a three. Use him as a decoy at least. Why are you putting Kleber in? I guess he wanted to get some rebounds. But I mean, Austin Reaves was just abysmal anyways. But anyway, I cannot believe that they took Rui out. I mean, that shit was crazy. That's who you want to get the shit.
I don't know if JJ Redick addressed that, but Rui, I haven't seen him shoot. I mean, he shot as good as he's ever shot in the playoffs, man. He was shooting the hell out of the ball. He was great for him. So I don't know why they would have taken him out. Reeves got a good shot from what I saw, but, you know.
It was a good shot.
I don't know why.
It was deep.
You got a good look. You got a good look.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for down by 3, a good look. But, yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't know why Rui would have came out the game.
I mean, Rui was –
he was awesome.
He had 25, bro. He was 4 of 8 from 3, 9 for 15 from the field. And you put in Maxi Kleber, who played so low that the thing still says he has 0 minutes, but he didn't get a DNP because they took him right out on the next possession. He was in for that possession only.
Yeah, not sure what the point of that was.
JJ doesn't do anything that really ever bothers me that much, and that was bad.
Yeah, I don't get that. Again, I was asleep, but I don't know why he did it. But to your point, I think JJ, and you know what's crazy is I think JJ, like out of timeouts, like he's one of the best at running sets out of timeouts. It's almost like Steve Kerr and guys like that. So the fact that he took Rui out doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe it was to get rebounds, but it's not like Maxi's an amazing rebounder. He is a decent shooter for a big man, but Rui, I was so impressed with him all playoffs, man. He shot great, and it's just unfortunate that the Lakers couldn't pull one out. I thought they'd get one in the series, but Austin Reaves never really looked like himself. He, I think game 2 or 3, I don't know which one it was. He played decently, but besides that,
game 1 he was 3 of 16 from the field.
He was bad in game 1. It might have been game 2. He had 32 in game 2, I think. But he never found his rhythm. He was bad. LeBron didn't play as well, obviously, as he did in the Houston series. Rui played great, and then guys like Marcus Smart and Kennard didn't really have those games that they had in the first round. So when you're playing a team like OKC, you need all hands on deck to even win a damn game. So at least it was competitive. They had competitive moments, which is all I wanted. A couple were competitive into the fourth, and then OKC pulled away, and the score was a lot bigger than what the game really was. But at least it was competitive. So we'll see, though. OKC's rolling through the playoffs right now. No resistance, really.
They didn't look great, though. I mean, I don't know how much of the Lakers. I will say one of my takeaways was if you double Shai, he doesn't know what to do. Obviously, he doesn't get doubled much because there's so much help.
Yep.
But I mean, what was it? It was game 1 where they did that, where they blitzed him every time and he didn't know what to do, and they struggled big time in that one. So I think that's what you do at times if you're playing OKC, but you just got to go in and out of it because they're not going to know what to do. Shai was not the free throw leader in any game besides game 4. In fact, game 1, he had only 3 attempts and he scored below 20 points. I think that might have been the 5th game in the last couple of years that he scored below 20 points in the playoffs. In the regular season, he would have 2 seasons in a row scoring 20 points. And that's because the foul baiting stuff works better during the regular season. You get obviously less calls in the playoffs. And, they're allowed to play harder defense. And so Austin Reaves had more free throw attempts than him in games 2 and 3. In game 4, Shai was like, I'm getting my 15 free throw attempts and we're going to win this game. And that's what he did. He got his 15 free throw. I think he had 35. But, I mean, you get 30 or points from the line, So it's like he went. But that's what he does, man. And I've seen, like, obviously, like, the foul baiting stuff is, like, going nuts. Like, everyone's commenting on it. Nobody's excited besides OKC fans about it. And no one says anything positive about it unless they're an OKC fan. And they say that, like, oh, the Lakers flop or whatever. But the reality is Shai's he's playing within the rules. He's not doing anything wrong. They need to change the rules. But what Shai does is the second you touch him, he's going to go up. The second you, like, kind of bump him, he's going into you. Like, he's foul baiting to a T, and he's not trying to get a bucket at all, a lot of the time. So, but it works because, look, he gets to the line. The Lakers were winning a lot of that game. He gets to the line 15 times, and look what happens. Yeah. He leads the game in scoring. He leads the game in free throw attempts, and OKC gets it in a close one. So
he's mastered the art of drawing the foul, man. He'll propel himself into the defender. So if the defender isn't straight up or if the defender's actually moving, he'll get the foul call. He just mastered it. And, to your point, he's playing within the rules. They got to change him. Now the rest of the team has kind of followed his lead, and they do the same thing. But how good was Mitchell this series, man? In the absence of Williams, I mean, Mitchell was he played. Bro. I mean, he's a player. You look at how well this organization has done at picking people up and drafting. They didn't draft Mitchell, the Knicks did, but he's a player, man. And they just find gems and people that fit the system and play their role. And it's pretty impressive what they've done over there. You got guys like that. I think he had 28 last night. Was great all series.
What do you do? Because they can't max him too, and he played like a max, and he's going to get paid. Do you trade him now for like a top 5 pick or something like that? I mean, because you can't keep paying these guys. They already have max their 3 players already.
Guys like, I think you move off contracts maybe like Dort and Caruso, maybe even though as good as Caruso is, like Mitchell's such a good young player. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how much money like Mitchell's going to end up getting, but he's a player. I wouldn't want to lose him.
I mean, if he does that in the next series, bro, he's getting paid.
It's an embarrassment of riches, honestly. Like, you got Wallace, you got McCain, who, was solid again off the bench. Philly looks silly because McCain will be playing a lot more on any other team. OKC is just so deep, and anytime he gets in the game, he's knocking down shots. Philly couldn't shoot for shit in the series against the Knicks. They give away McCain for nothing. They could have used him, but McCain, 13 points in 16 minutes, 5 for 10 from 3. I mean,
dude, at the end of the game, there was a clip. They're all like celebrating, and he just goes, "Iceman in 3 days." Like, it just keeps
McCain.
Yeah,
that's he loves Drake, but I don't know. That team is just built perfectly. They got so many young players, but to your point, then you get to a situation where you got so much good young talent, you need to pay them. So, I mean,
they got they got the 12th pick in the draft.
Right? And you can get a big man like in the draft and like move off. There's some pretty good big men around that.
Yeah. Maybe you get like Mara from Michigan or something like that.
That contract, right? So you reload through the draft and kind of reset the salary cap, and they'll hit the aprons and all that. But, I mean, they got so much young talent. When we talk about dynasty, I mean, if they find a way to keep, a lot of the core together, I don't know. It's going to be tough.
And the Spurs don't look to me like they can beat OKC, even though OKC didn't play great. Like, they didn't have a signature game in the series,
This series, and we can get into the San Antonio series, but this series with San Antonio may be the best thing for them if they go on to win and play OKC, because they're having a hard time facing some adversity, obviously. And you're right, they haven't looked good, so they need to figure it out. Because for the most part, if you look at the year, like San Antonio's played OKC tough, had their number in a lot of these games. Obviously, it's a lot different in the playoffs, man. You got to beat somebody 4 out of 7, but this could be good for San Antonio if they can figure it out. If they play the way they're playing now, I mean, it'll be a 5-game series against OKC. If they don't.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess we can jump into that one. The last thing I'll say real quick is that Austin Reaves can't guard anyone, not one person. Oh. He didn't even want to. I don't know what he's doing. They were just, it's just blow by. Like the whole time they were targeting him in key moments in both games 3 and 4, probably the whole series. He just couldn't guard anyone.
So what are they going to do? Like, we don't have to talk about it. It's another pod probably, but it's just so interesting about Reaves. And the upcoming contract, and he's been great. He's had a lot of great moments. He's been a great player offensively for the Lakers, and I know, again, he's like a homegrown guy. They probably want to keep him. People in LA love Austin Reaves, but when you're building a team around Luka, you need defenders. Look at OKC. I mean, that is the –
you stick Luka on OKC and it'd be out of here.
I mean, that's the formula. You need defenders and 3-and-D guys and
defenders and 3-and-D.
Luka's already a cone, so you can't, have your two best players be defensive liabilities.
Luke Kennard can't guard anyone either, bro.
No, he can't. And I think a lot of that is just they're unable to. It's not a willingness to guard, just not nearly quick enough, strong enough to guard some of the folks out there. So it'll be interesting, man. I don't know. We'll get to that.
And I think JJ's off Laravia, which he should have never been on him, but I don't think he even played. He's awful.
Fucking awful. And even when they signed him from SAC, I was just like, I didn't understand it. He came here to be a starter. Obviously, they got Luke Kennard because that's what they wanted Laravia to be. Because they didn't think he could go
Connect. He's better than both of them.
Yeah, you're a big Connect fan. We haven't seen him play, but I actually like Kennard. He can't defend. He can't defend, but I actually like Kennard. He can't defend for shit. I like him. I think he's a solid offensive player. But I would say that I would have given Connect more minutes throughout the year to see what you have, at least.
Yeah, JJ all those minutes Laravia gave you.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't even play him.
Yeah.
You're playing Theoru, the dude who Puka Nakua's brother stole his car. And you're not playing Dalton Connect. That dude's trash too. He played a couple minutes last night. Horrible. It's terrible.
It's got to be, defensive issues with JJ, and not that again, Kennard and those guys are defending.
I don't know if Connect can guard or not, but he can't be worse than Austin Reaves or Kennard.
Yeah, that's true.
He has to be better, at least as good as them. He's not going to be worse. You know what I mean?
Hard to be
and he's
worse.
also bigger. And he can also he's a better shooter than all those guys. He's the best shooter on the Lakers, probably. So, I don't know. But
good young player. Maybe he'll get a chance next year, but
somewhere else, bro. He's out, man. If I'm him, I'm like, yo, just cut me or fucking trade me.
Yeah, you want to play?
Send me to fucking Greece. I don't care. You
want to play for sure.
Yeah, he's too young not to play.
No,
and it was also a steal when the Lakers drafted him. He should have never been drafted at that spot. So it's like, I don't get it. Let's jump into the Spurs and the T-Wolves. Obviously, in Game 4, Wemby, who, by the way, I'm probably the only person that doesn't like Wemby. I really don't like Wemby. I dislike him as much as Shai. And I dislike Shai for a different reason. Shai's the best player in the NBA, and he flops and fucking has his theatrics and, probably get it as an Oscar one day. That's why I don't like him. I don't like Wemby because he's soft. So soft. Obviously, he's skinny, but he's soft, and he's a baby. And he doesn't handle adversity at all, right? And I don't care if you're 8 feet tall and you block shots. That's not interesting to me. I don't care if you get 12 blocks, bro. You take 17 shots and have more points or more blocks than points. I don't know what we're talking about. And then, so for those that didn't see, he elbowed Naz Reid in the neck and complete wind up and follow through. And dude, if that was Draymond, he probably missed the rest of the year. It was so blatant. And you see his coach was like, I'm glad he stood up for himself. The refs weren't standing up for him. And I'm just like, you can't hit somebody like that, bro. Shaq did that. How long would they kick him out for, man? It's like,
that's crazy. I again, because he probably doesn't have the reputation of doing stuff like that. They gave him a pass. Plus, it's the playoffs, and the NBA wants Wemby playing.
One game. Give him one game.
Yeah, he should have got suspended. If it was Draymond, to your point, he might have gotten multiple games.
They suspended Draymond in the finals for way less than that.
Yeah. I don't hate Wemby as much as you do. I do think he's frail and soft, and he's not handling.
And he shouldn't shoot threes either. I don't want to see him shoot any more threes. Get your ass under the rim.
He's still young. Yeah, you're I gotta have a nickname for you because the 3-point shooting bothers you when folks shoot in the. I think Wemby is a capable shooter. They want him
shoots 35%, which is better than Luka and Bron this year. But
yeah,
you lost game 1 because you were 0 for 8 in a 2-point game. If you didn't shoot 8 threes, if you shot 7 threes or 6, you probably win the game. What are you doing?
He's still trying to figure out. He's still super young. He's blocking shot. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Like, to your point, like
the blocks are crazy. And I don't think refs can call goaltending because he's blocking the ball in spots that nobody else has ever been able to do. So it always looks like a goaltend, and a lot of the times it's not, because he actually gets these floaters at the peak, which nobody else can. So you can't tell if they're a goaltender or not, whereas everybody else would only be able to block it on the way down. So it has to be a goaltend. With him, you're like, fuck, I don't know if that was a goaltend or not.
You can't tell. It's crazy.
No, you can't tell.
But yeah.
By the way, I was going to say, did you see that live? Were you watching it live when that happened, when he hit Naz Reid?
Yeah.
Did you see? He goes over, and which, by the way, dude, he's sitting next to Harrison Barnes, who is 6'8", and he reaches up and puts his hand around Harrison Barnes' like shoulder while he's sitting down, which is crazy, insane. I've never seen anything like that. He looked like he was 5'7". You know what I mean? And he's trying to ask Harrison Barnes what a flagrant 2 means. He has no idea. You've been in the NBA for 3 years, dog. You don't know what that is?
He's like, am I out? It's like, dude, yeah, you're about to get kicked
out. Bro, you're cooked. Get out.
It's cooked. Yeah. But like the coach, I mean, I guess you got to stick up for your player, saying I'm glad he stuck up for himself. But at the same time, you got to like get on Wemby. Hopefully, you have his back in public, but in private, be like, dude, like we can't afford to lose you. That's fucking stupid. Keep your composure. Like you can't be throwing elbows at people's heads like that. Like relax. So they're
also Ant's getting healthier each game.
Oh yeah,
so you don't want to give him a chance, man.
That's what I'm saying. If he would have been suspended this next game, I think they would have had a chance to go in there and win.
And then they're going to win in 6.
Yes. So I think the
NBA wants San Antonio to play OKC. They don't want Minnesota to win. They need to get Anthony Edwards out of Minnesota anyways. I think he still has like 2 or 3 years left.
I agree.
He needs to get the hell out of there. Even though I like their roster. I love DiVincenzo, who's out probably all of next year. But, and also like when you say like he defended himself, like it's not going to make people treat him differently. In fact, they're probably going to be worse on him because he's so soft and he did that. Like,
and they want him to do it again. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're going to bully him even more, I think.
Yeah, that's wild.
Obviously, and Stephon Castle's like maybe the 3rd or 4th, most frequent flopper in the NBA. It's like, I'm over it, man. They need to do something about the flopping. The complaining is not even prominent anymore. It used to be the complaining. But now the flopping is so prominent that nobody's even talking about the complaining that everyone does.
Yeah.
And your boy Austin Reaves too, how does he have a powwow with the refs and do all that stuff that he did and then complain the whole fucking game? He wants a call on every possession. If I was the ref, I'd be play defense, dude. You know what I mean? I'll give you a call if you play some fucking defense. You know
the refs are terrible. Some of the refereeing has been really bad.
Did you see him tell the refs, "Don't call me a pussy"?
Yeah, he's pissed. Which ref called him a pussy? That's so funny,
bro. I'm dead. When he said that, you saw the clip where he's like, "You can't call me a pussy." I'm like,
that's so funny. That's hilarious.
So good.
Yeah. But
so what do you think is going to happen in this T-Wolves series?
I think it'll go 7. Honestly, I think they're going to lose Game 5. I think Game 6 in Minnesota, I think we'll get Ant, going crazy. I think it'll be maybe more on the end of a blowout in Game 7 in San Antonio, probably. So I think it might go 7. I really do. I think Minnesota can win a Game 6 at home, but I think it'll be too tough to win a Game 7 in San Antonio.
Dude, Minnesota, man. Ant had like 36 or 7, and you see him hit. He hits a big 3, and then he taps the coach like, "What's up, dude?" Like, you know what I mean? Because he hit the 3 right in front of him, dude. He's wild, man. I love Ant.
He's great.
The NBA needs more Ant and less Wemby and Shai. And I'm not saying that because they're foreign. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's true because Shai is Canadian.
Yeah. I mean, I love Dylan Brooks. He's Canadian. It has nothing to do with it.
Right. I think Minnesota's a formidable opponent, though. Like with Naz Reid, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, right? You got a savvy veteran in Mike Conley who, can't defend for shit anymore. But, you got him in there. And, Hoopin, you got a couple of, young players they're a solid team. They're obviously
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. San Antonio's a better team, so I expect them to win. But
this kid, Ayo, whatever his name is, that's hooping, he got traded for Mike Conley. Then Mike Conley got traded again, then cut, and then re-signed with Timberwolves. So they got him for free, and that dude's getting 20, and he's playing minutes. That's crazy. I can't believe how are you going to trade? I don't know. You're trading a young guy that's like unproven, who doesn't cost anything, who can hoop. It's crazy.
But to your point, like a lot of these teams, whether it's like Mitchell and OKC, like teams, they're not getting opportunities with certain teams, so they trade them. Then when they do get their opportunity, like maybe a Dalton Connect, like we don't know. When they do get an opportunity, they hoop, and then you're thinking to yourself, how the hell could a team let them go? It's because they never really got an opportunity or the system wasn't right. It's all about like, getting in the right situation for some of these guys. But yeah, to your point, that's a great pickup. He's been playing great, and they're a formidable opponent, man. Minnesota can make this thing real interesting. They already have, but I would like to see a Game 7 for sure, and I think it's going to happen.
I mean, I'm going to take as much in as we can get. I will say there's not a better player more suited to play with Luka or LeBron than Dalton Connect, because he's going to hit every corner three you give him, and he's tall. Like none of it makes sense. So I hope that he goes somewhere next year where he can actually play. That'll be the only stain on JJ's resume. Obviously, he's done a lot with a little. I mean, obviously, look, when he won 50 games last year, Luka did that. He didn't do that. Everyone's like, oh, he said he was going to win 50, he won 50. Yeah, he didn't know that he was going to get that the NBA was going to package Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis for Luka, right? So, but this year, I mean, even in the playoffs, man, I mean, he won a series. KD didn't want to play, but they still should have lost to the Rockets probably. I think we all thought they were. Maybe you didn't, but they were favored to lose in every game, and he beat them. And he was way more competitive against OKC than Phoenix was. Phoenix gave up. They got beat by 100 in every game. Crazy. And I love the Suns, but they're not. It's not a winning group right now.
I think JJ is a great coach, and you got to realize, man, this is his second year ever coaching.
Anything. I know,
so he's crazy. Learning on the job, doing a great job, and in a difficult situation. Anytime you're coaching Luka and LeBron, I mean, that is not easy. And he had them playing together and singing from the same sheet of music at the end of the year. They were playing great when they were all healthy and they were finding their stride. And then the injury to Luka happened, and then Austin, and threw everything off course. But he's done a damn good job. So I like JJ a lot. I think he'll be the Lakers coach for a long time. We'll see what they do with this roster going into next year.
Yeah, man. I'm interested to see too. Shout out to JJ for, making that series way more competitive than a sweep normally is, especially with the team that, could theoretically lose one game in the whole playoffs or something like that, So let's jump into Cade Cunningham and the Pistons, and obviously Cleveland, who last night, man, I thought Pistons are going to win this game, but Donovan Mitchell drops 43, and
Cleveland in the second half. Man.
What? Yeah. I mean, now it's 2-2. So we have a series in which I thought this would be 5 or 6 games, and it's not 5 or 6 games.
I think I called 7. I think it's going to go 7. I think Detroit wins 5. I think it's going to go – the home team's going to win every game in this series. But
I don't like Cleveland, man. I hope the Pistons win, but you're probably right.
I think the Pistons will win the series, but I think it'll go 7.
And Jalen Darryn looked like the worst player I've ever seen yesterday. Awesome. He was so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, he looked like Darius Hayward-Bay out there. Cade Cunningham hits him.
Darius Hayward-Bay fucking reference.
Darius Hayward-Bay, bro. I've never seen anyone that looked like they couldn't catch a ball as much as Darius Hayward-Bay. Obviously, you have DeAndre Ayton, who, if that guy was any good at all, like the Lakers would have been in a much better spot. But, I mean, you saw him. Cade jumps up, wide open 3, and at the last second, he throws it down for a dunk to Darryn. And dude, it's like he doesn't even have fingers. It just hits him in the palms, and he drops it. Like, it was so bad. He was awful yesterday. Awful. Bad. Horrific. So he needs to go play football if he keeps playing like that. No more basketball for you, brother.
Mitchell had one of those games, man, that you expect of your superstar. It's when you have a superstar like whether it's Ant, Mitchell, Cade, you're looking at him and saying, I need you to win us 1 or 2 games this series yourself. And that's what they're supposed to do. And that's what he did last night, man. He
really did. He was
cooking. Yeah, he was cooking. He was great last night. James Harden still, I don't know.
James Harden, man. He has his moments. He has moments. He has Harden moments, but he's not giving you 40.
Game 3,
that was the best game of the series.
And he didn't really do anything until the last 2 minutes where he had
he hit that floater. He hit 2 or 3 big shots.
Yeah. But before that, he wasn't doing anything. Last night, he was 5 for 14. He was 5 for 9 from 3, so that's why he ended up with 24 points. But he's gonna have to be a lot better if they want any chance to win this series.
Pistons wins at home. I hope they win in Game 6 at Cleveland. They probably won't, to your point. And so,
yeah, I think it'll be back and forth. They had a great
Game 7 in Detroit.
LeVert was great last night. He got him back in that game.
Bro, he was cooking in the first half. They were down 14-1 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and he came out and obviously Cleveland blitzed them, and I think it was the second half they went on a crazy run. But Detroit kept fighting, man. So ended up being a decently close game. Cunningham didn't have his best game, but yeah, it's a tight one, man. I think that Cleveland is going to rely. I mean, they rely so heavily on Cade. If he doesn't play well, there's no chance of them winning.
No,
So I don't know if they have enough shooting. Tobias Harris has been really, really good. Had a pedestrian game yesterday. So yeah, I think this one's another series that's going to go 7, which is great, bro. Game 7s, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, we got no basketball left because 2 of the series are sweeps, but we got 2 series that might go 7. So, and it's crazy because I was telling you that Boston was going to beat New York, and I don't know what the Boston-New York series would have looked like, but it wouldn't have fucking looked as bad as this Sixers series.
Man,
the series was they stink, and the Knicks played really well. Don't get me wrong. Jalen Brunson out of his mind. Mikal Bridges kind of like found his rhythm, and obviously OG was hooping before he got hurt. To your point from the last episode, this is huge that Cleveland can win some games and give OG, he probably has a week until he has to play again.
Exactly. So, he was day to day, and they were able to win that series without him and rest him. And I'm not sure, if Philadelphia had won some games that they would have tried to bring him back anyway. But fuck, man, the Knicks are playing offensively. They're
scoring 130 a night, man.
It's taken them a while because Mike Brown implemented a new system. Thibodeau's system was completely different. He was more defensive focused. The offense was everything running through Jalen Brunson, not a lot of movement. Brunson ball dominant. But what they're doing is they're using Cat as more of a facilitator at the top of the key, creating, rub screens, a lot of movement with Cat. And, to as much as, we've killed Cat, people have killed Cat, he's played really fucking well. Distributing the ball. He's not scoring 30. He's scoring 17, but he's getting like 9 assists. He's rebounding, still doing dumb fouls. But I'm telling you, man, that offense, to your point, a big part of it is Bridges finding his rhythm is huge, right? So I think OG going out helped, but Bridges was, starting to play a little bit better. You need him. OG was playing great. McBride off the bench. I mean, he started in the absence of OG, but fuck, like game 4.
25. He had 25 in game 4.
It was like they're shooting, and not only are they winning, but their margin of victory is like average 20. The only 2 games they lost in the playoffs so far have been by 1 point each. And Brunson, Bridges, OG, and another thing that Mike Brown does, he utilizes the bench, which they didn't do at all last year. Thibodeau was running like the rotation was like 6-7 guys.
Never seen anything like that, bro. They got guys. Everyone's playing 44 minutes.
I know. And now you got Alvarado coming off the bench, Shamet coming off the bench, McBride coming off the bench, Jordan Clarkson
hooped in the last game. I haven't seen Shamet really doesn't even play. I mean, he played a lot on the Suns a few years ago, but I mean, he was
actually playing really well this year until he fucked up his shoulder. Like in the beginning of the year, he's probably playing the best basketball he's ever played. But you got Mitchell Robinson again, Clarkson. You got 5 guys coming, 5 to 6 guys coming off the bench. That's you're able to spell Brunson for minutes and Karl Anthony Towns and so the Knicks are, offensively humming. I mean, they're dangerous right now. So it's cool to see. And like we said, this is huge that this Detroit Pistons series continues to stretch out because, getting OG more rest. I think by the time the Eastern Conference finals start, should be 100%. They're saying barring any setbacks, he's going to be completely.
I don't know if the Knicks could beat OKC or not, but
they're going to make it interesting. They're not getting swept. Well, I will tell you that.
Playing well. They're playing
and in
well,
the Garden, I mean, there's it was crazy that those Knicks fans, they travel, bro. Like Atlanta, They went in that arena. It was like 40% Knicks fans. In Philly, it might have been 50% Knicks fans playing in the Garden. It's a real – they're not going to be able to get that if they play OKC, obviously, but they have a real home court advantage. They're playing really well at home right now. And, yeah, man, that's what I want to see. I want to see OKC versus the Knicks, but anything can happen, man. So we'll
Paul
see.
George, man, made a whole franchise for those boys. And
unbelievable.
He's playing horrible.
You know what's crazy is that dude. There's a couple of games where in the first half of the first quarter he was
15 or 14 cooking.
Best fucking player on the court, man. Not missing, and then he would go the rest of the game and not make a shot, which is insane.
I think I bet one game where he needed to get 5 points from the 7-minute mark in the third quarter, and the game where he had like 18. He didn't score one more point. He took like 7 shots, missed all of them. And I'll tell you, it is – who was it? It was Josh Hart that was locking his ass up.
Mm-hmm. And Josh Hart is another guy. He's just I wouldn't say the most talented – not the most talented shooter. He's not a great shooter, but he's one of the best finishers in the league, plays hard, one of the best rebounding guards in the NBA for sure.
He's he plays like Draymond somehow, even though he's like smaller. Yeah. And it's just like he gets so many boards. He's so tough. He's a beast, man.
But yeah, Bridges did a fantastic job on Maxey. He just did. He played great defense. Edgecombe, young, going to be a great player, but
is it just me though, or is Joel Embiid on the floor on every possession? Guy falls down more than anyone I've ever seen.
They're fucked, man. He had that contract, and he can't. No one's going to take that. So you have that Joel Embiid contract for the next, I think, 3 years, and the guy is like barely mobile. I mean, he's always getting. I'd
take him if you paid 80% of it. That's the only way, because he's not even going to be on the court, so you can't pay him.
They're in a bad spot for sure, in the worst way. That's why you don't get rid of people like McCain. He's young. He's on, you keep him, you keep Edgecombe. Obviously, you keep Maxey. You kind of build around those guys. But like Paul George and Paul George, he's got that stigma too, like Harden right now. Like when it comes to the playoffs, just not it. Like
playoff P.
Playoff P.
I'm on podcast P now. Maybe we can get him on.
Yeah, get him on podcast P. I love it.
All right, so we got 2 Game 7s coming up, most likely, and then 2 people chilling for a week. 2 groups. That's right. So let's hop into this lottery, man. I thought, and I'm very disappointed in the NBA because I know that this isn't an actual lottery. They pick whatever they want because, again, you watch hockey or anything else, they show the balls, right? The little lottery balls. The NBA used to do that, if you remember, because they had like team logos on them. This year they come out with the envelopes again, and they're like, oh, the security officer is the only one that saw the results or whatever, but it's bullshit. Because even when they did the top 4, which is Chicago, Memphis, Utah, Wizards, it was in that order that they announced them, in the order that they were on the screen. But I thought they were going to cheat and give my Warriors a top 4 pick, and they didn't. So I'm very disappointed in Adam Silver. They got the 11th pick. I was very disappointed. Glad that they gave OKC the 12th pick, though, because they don't need anything else. And the 12th pick, you're still going to actually get a good player when you shouldn't, because the draft's so deep.
Draft's loaded. They are, which is bullshit. But yeah, OKC, as good as they are, the number 12 pick is just insane. But
insane. They're going to be back-to-back champions, most likely, with the 12th pick. At least that's like kind of the end of the Paul George, Chris Paul debacle, Russell Westbrook debacle, or I think that's who it was all from. But so it looks like the Wizards will be getting AJ Dybantsa to pair with Alex Sarr and Trae Young and AD. I don't know if, I think AD's got one more year and then a player option. So they'll probably have to figure out next year what they're going to do, if they're going to re-sign him or if they're going to ship him off before he's, he can leave on his own.
I think you ship him off because AJ can kind of play that, that position a little bit. If he goes small, he can play like, I guess, the 4, like kind of, obviously completely different players, but, and you got Trey Johnson, who I think could turn into a good player too. And you got George.
He's the only guy better than Steph at shooting the basketball.
I thought that the NBA would give the Jazz the first pick because, it makes sense because obviously the owner of the Jazz is such a big booster for BYU, went to BYU. He's the one that funded Dybantsa going to BYU. Danny Ainge went to BYU. Obviously, AJ, was not only did he go to BYU, but he went to high school in Utah. So I thought that maybe they would just make that connection. Although, the Wizards, that's a bigger market.
It's a big market. And Wizards have never been good at basketball because even when it was John Wall and Bradley Beal at their prime, those guys couldn't even they weren't Olympic players. They weren't really ever all-stars because the guard position got so deep at that time. So they weren't good enough. The Wizards have never been good in my adult life. Maybe Gilbert Arenas.
I was going to say Deshaun Stevenson, that team, when they were kind of like, giving LeBron
25 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah. When they giving LeBron fits and stuff back then. I mean, they're pretty decent, but
LeBron's teams were trash, and obviously LeBron beat them every time, but
I saw a scenario where the Jazz would do anything for AJ Dybantsa. So with the Wizards, hold them hostage and trade that pick and still be able to get like Darryn Peterson at number 2 or another player they like.
Maybe they say give me
Ace Bailey and
give me Triple J.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know if, I'm sure the Jazz want to pair Triple J with AJ, but maybe they say, hey, give me a ridiculous offer and we'll see. But
they want
on the Wizards. I hold on to the pick, man. I think AJ Dybantsa is the best player.
Peterson is so talented. I'm not picking Darryn Peterson in this draft. I'm just not.
He's so talented, man. He could end up being the best player, but I'm not taking that risk.
I just don't know if he's the right human. He's obviously a hooper.
Right.
But
I agree.
The last thing Memphis needs is Darryn Peterson because they're a mess. So maybe he falls to Chicago. I doubt it. He probably goes to Utah, but maybe they take Caleb Wilson. I don't know.
I think Memphis will probably take Caleb Wilson because of the upside. I think Chicago goes with Boozer. Just,
boring pick to me.
Boring pick. Safe pick, boring pick. His dad played there for 4 years. I think they go Boozer. And you pair him with some of the, I guess the younger type of guards that you have already. Then the Clippers fucking and they already got young players. Now you have your pick between Acuff and Keaton Wagner. You know what I mean? You
take Acuff, man.
You know what I mean? So
I like Wagner a lot. He's a beast, but
I do too. You could take Acuff, but you have Garland, right? And Wagner could, fit in right away. So the Clippers are gonna get a great fucking player, which is crazy because Indiana's so fucking stupid. Gave up a top 4 protected pick and it ended up being number 5.
So the NBA gifted them that for sure. That's fake. That's so fake.
Crazy. And the owner came out and apologized.
Trash, bro.
Sorry.
Bro, sorry we gave up Benedict Mathurin, a number 5 pick, a 2029 unprotected first round pick, and they suck. So that's going to be a good one. And then 2028 second round pick for Zubac.
And I like Zubac as a player. He's decent, but
it's not a knock on Zubac. It's not a knock on Anthony Davis that they traded Luka for him, but they still traded Luka for him.
Bottom line is if they can go back in time, they'd unwind the trade is the way you can tell if a trade is good or not. So if they could go back, they would have undone it because now they know that is a number 5 pick that they lost. And, I like Matthew.
You look at the Cat Randall DiVincenzo trade, and it's still it's not that off one way or the other. But when you're trading picks and they become a top 5 pick in this draft, it's man.
Historically bad.
Honestly, they probably unwind it to get the 2029 pick back by itself.
Yeah. But I think it goes AJ. I think someone's just going to take Darryn Peterson because the upside's too big. Then I think Caleb because he defensively he's a beast. He has so much upside offensively.
So young, man. I mean, they're all young, but
and I think Chicago will go Boozer, which I think is boring too. But it'll give you a double.
Maybe they take Darius Acuff. I don't know.
Acuff and Wagner, and I think that's the top 6 picks for sure. I don't know what order, but I think that's the top 6. And then afterwards, you got players like Braden Burries, who's
which, by the way, I got on a pretty good source. Chicago wanted him because they were projected to be 9, and they were 100% going to take Burries. So I wonder they love Burries. I don't know exactly why. I wasn't told why, but I wonder if they'll
trade back,
move around and try to figure out a way to get Braden, but they wanted him bad apparently.
That's interesting, right? And then, you got some, other really good players. So, I mean, the top 10 is going to be Kingston Fleming. A lot of people like his upside, crazy athletic, can defend, a lot of promise on the offensive end. So, you got those guys right after. So
and then you got the Michigan kids coming out right after that, which is like they're way too good to be. You're not supposed to get players that good in like the teens.
I saw a mock draft that actually had him going to Golden State, which would kind of make sense.
Mara or Laxenberg?
Yeah, Jacksenberg. I don't know.
Maybe.
He is older, but you guys got that are a little older. They can come in and play right away, and you got Steph that's obviously not getting younger, so you need guys that can contribute to that team.
That's true.
ASAP, and maybe if Draymond retires, he can step in and kind of play that role. Because he's a stretch, he's a better shooter than Draymond, so that could work. But then you got Mara, who's going to go high too. So
yeah, maybe he's OKC. Maybe they get rid of Hartenstein, move off the contract or
whatever. That's what I saw. So that's what I was saying, big man. That's what I saw. Mara going to OKC. Then you kind of reset the salary. Move off of Hartenstein. You got Mara, who's going to block a ton of fucking shots.
A mobile, big, 7'3" or whatever the hell he is, and he's like he moves around well. He blocks shots. He can finish around the rim. I mean, he was he killed U of A in that Final Four game.
You did. So again, they're going to get a good player at that spot, which is crazy.
Yeah. So you mentioned Draymond retiring. I heard that with Steve Kerr coming back, that Draymond's likely gone. So I don't know if that means if he's going to go to TV or what. He's obviously making that play. He's creating beef with Chuck and creating beef with Austin Rivers, although – he didn't need to go at Austin Rivers like that because Austin Rivers didn't come at him at first. He just said, that Steve Kerr put him in a good spot, and Draymond's smarter than saying something like that. He didn't say, I'm better than you or you suck or whatever. You know what I mean? He just said, you're smart enough to know that that's not the case, And maybe, Steve Kerr, Draymond thinks he's going to get 30 a game in the NBA or something. I don't know what he thinks, but that's not on the table. I don't think so.
I think it probably depends too on where he might go. If they're going to send him to, if he's going to go to, he's not going to go to Memphis.
He needs to go to Detroit, man. He's a great fit.
Great fit. He went to college. He's from the area.
Well, they need a veteran. They don't have one.
Yes.
And he can go in there and get their head out of their ass. And if they had Draymond this year, they would have probably maybe 1-5 or maybe swept Cleveland. Draymond would change the dynamic of that team, man. And he brings the defensive presence. You can send Isaiah Stewart packing and call it a day.
Detroit or another contender. If not, then he's going to podcast.
Send him to New York, bro.
Yeah, something like that. So I guess it depends. Seriously. And he'll have some – look, he's still an elite, rebounder and defender.
His defense, bro, in that game, in the first play-in game, that defense, he shouldn't retire. He should play.
Stuff in the tank, dude. It may be going somewhere else will reinvigorate and give him more energy. And I want to see Draymond
go play in Detroit, man. That's a perfect match. Obviously, Devin Booker would be the most perfect fit, and he's from Michigan as well, but he's not going anywhere. So maybe Draymond.
I think Draymond in Detroit makes a lot of sense. We'll see. But I agree. I hope he doesn't retire. I still want to see Draymond a couple more years, a year or two. But if not, he's going to be really good on TV. The
Warriors have to address if Draymond's gone, you need to get 2 or 3 big men. Because maybe you keep Post who they didn't even want to play at the end, but you need an actual big man. You need somebody else, and then you need a real 4. So they're gonna maybe that's the Laxenberg guy, but they're not gonna. You don't draft him and start him if you think you're actually a contender. So I don't know.
They got a lot of work to do. I don't know what they could do now, and I'm sure you saw now Milwaukee is open to offers for Giannis. This merry-go-round and shit. I don't know what they were offered before, but they were never going to win. Even with him, as great as he is, they don't have a good team. Why they decided to hold on to him, I don't know. Maybe they thought or think they're going to get a better offer now. Maybe they will. But I feel like at this point, you got to just move on from him and rebuild your team. And I think for them, if you look at the recipe, which is OKC, you want draft picks and maybe a young player. So I don't know what Golden State could offer, but I
guess. What are you going to trade? Maybe maybe you saw Pajemski has cornrows now. Maybe cornrows Pajemski in a second-round pick for Giannis. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad, dude. He looks like Jack Harlow, or actually like Jack Harlow. What Jack Harlow's trying to do, it's bad.
Yeah, they don't have much, and I think that that's
a trade though.
They'll probably help Giannis a little bit. I think they'll take the best offer per se, but I think they'll kind of accommodate where Giannis might want to go. I don't think
they owe him a little bit, man. I mean,
they do. Of course, he's been everything to that franchise. He made him relevant, so he'll have a bit of a say. So I don't think he's going to Sacramento. No. So I think he'll be able to kind of finagle a little bit there. But I'm sick of fucking merry-go-round. Just trade him, dude. Trade him. Yeah. Move on.
I don't want to hear we're gonna take offer. Like if I was a team that offered like a serious offer, I wouldn't even. It's just like I have the same offer you had before. Like what do you want from me? It's just not. I'm over it because they might try to play him and then we're gonna trade him before the deadline and do the same shit over again. I don't know. So
it's a really again this is a loaded draft. So if I'm Milwaukee, I'm trying to trade him before the draft.
Maybe you try to hop into the top 4.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. 100%. Top 4 or 5. You see what you can
trade him. You take like 3 picks plus Anthony Davis and AJ Dybantsa and send him to the Wizards. I don't know.
Something. Yeah. Yeah.
So Dybantsa could be that guy that replaces Giannis and for 10 years in Milwaukee or whatever,
I think Dybantsa is nothing's a sure thing, but he's just so talented offensively. He's big. He's kind of got that dog type of mentality. I think he's going to be a really good pro.
So do the Wizards? They just give the Wizards Giannis Antetokounmpo and not AJ Dybantsa with the first pick. Maybe they did.
Yeah, right. There's
not that many players you would take over AJ Dybantsa if you're the Milwaukee in this exact situation because you need someone that's going to be good for a long time. You don't want someone that's 32.
I agree. I don't even know if I'm the Wizards if I even want Giannis. I'm like, hey, let's just reset. Let's bring AJ in here, stay young. But you think about
AJ,
if you got Giannis, Trae Young, Anthony Davis, Sarr, George, Trey Johnson in the East, maybe we got a 3-year window right here where we can, maybe they're looking at it like that. But I don't know.
I feel like they'd have to give up Anthony Davis. I don't want Anthony Davis. You'd have to give up one of those top 2 or 3 pieces, but maybe you could just give them 5 first-round picks.
Yeah, but I don't even know who would want fucking Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? So what I would ask for would be one of the young players.
You ask for Alex Sarr and AJ Dybantsa.
Give me Sarr, George, and you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Dybantsa and 2 picks. You could top 5 protect him, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. If I'm the Wizards, the number 1 pick. I think AJ Dybantsa is going to be great, and he's young. I would just ride with him, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, Giannis
Clippers do something because maybe the Clippers are like shit.
Well, Kawhi Leonard needs to get traded because he still has some value. I would trade him quick if I was them because they're not going to win, but they got so many young people, man.
The Kawhi Leonard experiment there is over, but when he's healthy and playing, he's still so damn good, which is crazy. I mean,
that end of the game, end of the season last year against the Warriors in the play-in game, after they beat the Warriors, so they had to play in the play-in game. I mean, Kawhi was nasty. He was nasty this year. Kawhi's good, man. He is a weirdo, and I don't know if he's going to play.
Can't rely on him. That's the problem. No. So I'm excited, man. A lot of good players there. Yeah. A lot of movement. Excited for the draft.
I'm excited, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited. I still am mad at Adam Silver. You needed to help out Steph Curry and give him the number 4 pick. That's what I thought they were going to do. I was like, all right, cool. We're going to get Caleb Wilson or we're going to get Darius Acuff, But
yeah, that would have been nasty. They need help.
Not happening. Well, shit. Looking forward to the rest of these playoffs. Looking forward to this draft, man. It's going to be a fun one. So we'll see what happens in these series, and we'll see if your boy OG can come back and – I don't know. I don't think Minnesota could compete with OKC, man. But I would love to see Ant Edwards try. Because if anyone's going to go up, Wemby might fold up and leave, but Ant Edwards, he's coming.
Edwards and Randall and those boys, and they're tough, so I wouldn't mind seeing that either. I wouldn't be mad if they end up winning that series.
Imagine a Minnesota-New York championship where you could play. Obviously, they don't have Dante, but you get to play for the trade, right?
Yeah, who got the better of the trade? Yeah,
That would be fire, dude. That would be sick. I would love to see that. And then the Knicks would actually I want to see OKC out, so whoever plays has a chance to win.
Yeah. That'd be tough.
But anyways, until next time, man. There's one thing you definitely cannot do.
You can't teach taste.
Cannot.
Peace.